Hey guys, it's Kathy. I hope you're doing well. Okay, so no trials today. I know that Fleischer had a trial today. I'm not going to play the trial here. I'm not going to do another 4 hour stream. But I do have the entire trial on, oops, that's not right, on my Patreon, which I thought I had the link ready for, and I just, didn't because I'm a professional. Let me grab that link real quick. Try again. So I'm putting the link in chat to just today's trial. Today, well, actually, it's not just the trial, it's the entire docket today, unedited. So if you want to see the whole Fleischer docket unedited, it's free. You don't have to pay anything on the Patreon. It's free. You can just go look. Who just came in? Hi, Iowa. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Sarah. Okay. So before we do anything, guys, just look at this back row. That's freaking exciting, isn't it? There's Colin in the back row. And I know you guys all saw it, and I know you all know, but it's just so exciting. I had to show it. Yep. Here he is in Judge King's room. There's more pictures and
Okay, two four
videos and
zero five
everything.
five three 0001. The people of the state of Michigan versus Walter Daniels. Definitive charge.
Oh man, that would be so exciting. That would be so exciting. He did great. He did great. Yep, the blue shirt is Colin. Colin, Donald, and Sly Delish are all there together. I saw pictures of them with all kinds of judges, but they got to sit in Judge King's courtroom. It would have been great if he would have reprimanded them or taken them into custody. That would have been hilarious. I would be terrified to go there. he would he could take us in for contempt of court just like that. Oh man, Colin is brave. That's why never once have you seen a Judge Bryant clip on my page, except she did a like a 28-second clip when she was running for judge about why you should vote for her. I played that because that was like public, public, public. But she gets really mad when, well, what happened was with Judge Bryant, someone took her face and they put devil horns on her in their thumb for their video, and that put her over the edge. And then she was like, because she used to do that. She did this stream every morning, and she did one stream just for the YouTubers, where she wasn't in the courtroom or anything. She was just talking about, and she had some valid points, but she was like, I've already contacted lawyers, and that was enough for me. so, so no, I don't ever, ever, ever play her, ever, 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 ever. All right, let's go to Wisconsin. Carolyn, the accents are thicker today. Don't worry. We're only going to be in Wisconsin for a few minutes, though. Two little clips.
It's just been a weird day. Weird, weird, weird. All right. I just don't want to do those. Okay. I know. I can threaten to retire unless they get me out of small claims. Maybe that should be my next ploy. Uh,
Now, if you're wondering why she's feeling like this today, Let me show you.
And I have Skyberg Law Offices versus Stephen Wallersham. You're Mr. Wallersham. I see. Okay. And so you want to contest Jim's bill.
Yes, I do.
Bankruptcy,
Your Honor,
Oh,
my wife passed away last October and both of us figured that we paid him enough. In fact,
no, that's not how it works. First of all, you said you filed bankruptcy. Did you file bankruptcy with him?
yes,
And these are the fees he incurred after you filed.
yes, after we paid him $2,300, and I had everything written out. The paperwork was written out, the creditor, the address, the phone number, and how much we owed. Everything was all
Yeah,
written.
you're required to do that.
Yes. So everything is all written out for him. And I don't know why he said there was such a problem with filing a bankruptcy. My wife is very disabled. In fact, she
Okay,
died last October.
Sir, you're not understanding.
Okay, I'm sorry.
We, first of all, we don't have him here. We don't have hearings today. We
Okay.
just find out that you're contesting.
Okay, got it.
So I'm going to have you, you'll be given an answer form you have to complete and file.
Okay.
And
Will you mail me something?
what?
Will you mail me something, Your Honor?
No, we're not going to mail you something.
I don't get on.
You're going to stop talking long enough for me to remember what I'm trying to do.
Mail him something.
Okay, do you
please.
want a hearing in the morning or in an afternoon?
Afternoon.
All right, are you okay with Zoom? Because I usually do my hearings by Zoom.
Come on.
No.
Okay, we'll have to make, okay. In that case, let's make it a 3:30 then for, yeah, it's gonna have to be a Friday afternoon. My Tuesdays are gone.
That's fine.
So Friday
Tuesdays.
afternoon, June 21st at 3:30. If you could please put the in-person note for my, so I know.
June.
And
Note. I know I'm bad. I love the
the
accent.
other one that's coming up, I'll take it, but put it on June 14th. So the next one. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, 3:30 also.
Send it a letter. Come on, be nice.
Your Honor, will I get information? in the
We're
mail
going to
about
hand it to you right now,
this?
so.
Oh, great. That's wonderful. I'm sorry, I'm just very nervous. I'm old too, that don't help.
You want to come up here?
Sure.
Here's your notice of hearing for June 21st at 3:30. It will be back in this courtroom, but it is listed on there. Your answer is due by end of business on May 7th, or you don't get that June hearing. Yep, and bring that to the clerk of court's office in room 105.
One copy to them, one copy to the defendant, just like it says along the side. You're all set for today, yes, sir.
Yep, I'm a sucker for accents. I love the accent. But that's why she wants to retire, because that's what she has to deal with. He started talking to her and she was like, what? Okay, so Judge Fleischer had a trial today. So he didn't have a lot of arraignments, but he did have a few. So let's watch those real quick.
Soon, but Brown, PR bond. That's another Port Bend where they can't get off their tuchus?
I guess we'll approach later.
What happened?
Your Honor, the state would urge not to have Zoom open during motions to suppress. It's been my experience sometimes in the past, jurors have viewed Zoom since it's openly accessible. And I don't want
Ours?
not ours. It's just been my prior experience that has occurred, and I don't want the possibility of a juror viewing a suppression hearing through Zoom.
I will admonish them not to then,
Okay.
okay? I want to keep it on so that people can watch though. If we even have one person watching, you know.
Doesn't he realize he's loved by thousands? We love him. Love, love, love him. And he doesn't even know that he's loved by thousands. Wait for it. Wait for it. It's coming.
It's Limerick.
or Limerick. Yeah.
All right, good morning, Ms. Limbrick. Ma'am, you were charged with assault, bodily injury. You were facing a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You guys, you tell me, worked out a 12-month deferred, right? What are the conditions that we're gonna do?
Thinking for a change, 4 hours anger management, 24 hours community service, and no threatening, harassing or abusive language to Nicole.
Oh, okay, hold on, that was really fast. So thinking for a change,
Yes,
which one?
it's the 13-week course.
The 13-week? Okay. You said a 4-hour anger management class?
Yes, sir.
What else?
24 hours of community service,
Okay,
and no threatening, harassing, or abusive contact with the complainant, Nicole Jamies. Jaimes.
and no weapons?
No, she's 18 years old. Maybe look at that community service, maybe because she's working, literally, she's trying to do her thing, trying to get off the ground.
What do you do for a living, Ms. Limbrick?
I work at Crown Flight. I'm a cargo agent.
What?
Cargo agent.
Are you chewing gum? Spit your gum out.
Yes, Mr. Fleischer.
But yeah, I'm a cargo agent and I'm also a student at CNJ.
Prove to me you're a student and then we'll work on your community service. But I want proof because I'm not going to take your word. And as long as you're a valid student and you remain so, we'll kill that part. I'm telling you now, you're on a very serious deferred, which is a type of probation that if you complete, you don't end up with a conviction. You can't tell people it was dismissed because it wasn't. You just did the probation, completed it successfully, and didn't end up with a conviction. You give up almost every right known to man by entering into this agreement, signing a contract telling us that you can complete it. If you don't, you're facing an entire year in custody. Do you understand? That means if you smoke weed, if you get into another fight, if you pick up a new case, don't do your stuff on time, I'm going to issue a warrant. I will put you in jail. The only thing that we're going to talk about is if you violated your probation. If you did, you're looking at an entire year. You understand me?
Yes.
Can you get this done? Can you get it done?
Oh, yes, I can. No.
You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers, right to be arraigned, charged right to open court. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal, Ms. Limbrick, meaning that once you enter into this agreement today with me, you're stuck with this until you complete it or if it gets revoked. I will make this sweeter for you, though. If you can get everything done quick, you're nice to everybody, don't pose a problem, don't test positive for weed, I'll take you off in half the time. I'll reward you if you do really well. But if you do poorly, it's going to go sideways real quick. You understand?
Yes, sir.
If you ever have a problem, come back to us and talk to us. Don't just take off because that's the worst thing you can do. How do you plead to the offense, man? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I will not find you guilty. I will withhold that for 12 months. But like I said, get it done quick. We'll take you off in half the time. All right? Sir. Reduce our fees to the minimum, please. We'll give you credit too. Okay, ma'am. Good luck to you. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
It's your probation.
Force anybody to, take 9 steps on the line. You
Wait
can't
for
force
it.
anybody to stand on one leg. But you have to
Wait
at least
for
get
it.
the opportunity to do those tests. So what we teach or have taught at the academy for years,
Here
and
it
I'm sure it's
comes.
still being taught, is that when you get to a scene and somebody says, hey, look, I'm not doing your
Almost.
tests, give the instructions anyway, and make the person refuse every single step of the way. And by doing that and having that person move and walk to different areas, we'll do HGN here, let's go.
Michael, what is his name?
Soy Luis, el intérprete, mucho gusto, caballero. Solo le contesta en español, pues, no se mueve, solo mil luego.
What's the name? Jorge Villegas.
Jorge Villegas.
Villegas.
Villegas,
I'm sorry.
VILL.
These are baby my sister, my brother.
Do you know why you're here?
¿Usted sabe por qué está aquí? ¿Tiene que hablar sí o no?
Yo digo que porque tiene un error, no sé, porque él va a manejar el camión y no sé.
I say, well, because I committed a mistake, I don't know, I tried to drive the truck and
Does he even have a
¿él
license?
tiene licencia para conducir?
Sí,
Yes.
Have a Texas
¿Tiene una
driver?
licencia de conducir de Texas?
sí.
Yes.
I am now, you tested positive for alcohol.
Por alcohol. Por alcohol.
Yo digo que sí, porque fui a una fiesta y no sé, y al último me tomé unas.
Well, I would say yes, because I went to a party and toward the end, I did have a few drinks.
Okay, now you're going to jail.
Ahora voy a ir a la cárcel.
Bye-bye.
Hasta luego.
Goes with you.
Con el
Goes
oficial.
with you. Don't send him down, please.
Villegas. VILLEGAS. Thank you.
Scare him a bit.
That's right.
Then I'm gonna put an ankle monitor on him and I'm taking away his ability to drive now.
That's right. You got 3 cases. Oh, 2.
He's got 2. He's got the second DWI and then an unlawful carrying. And I'm gonna, if he ever so much as test positive again, I'm gonna make his bond so high, he's gonna flip. So I'm gonna hold him for about an hour, scare him. And then, so pick a date, but he'll be responsible now for the scram. And then I'm gonna admonish him that if he ever does it again, I'm gonna just, it'll be a permanent position for him. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Michael.
Yeah, he didn't do a lot today, guys. He just didn't. Again, though, if you want to see the full days, full docket and court, it's on my Patreon. So, and it's free. You can just go and watch it. All right, let's go to Jersey. Let's get Jersey done. Here we go.
What is your name?
Winston Saravia,
What's your full address?
147 Barber Street, Helden, New Jersey.
Oh 07508. Any floor, unit, or apartment number?
Second floor.
Do you have a telephone number you'd like to give us for court notice purposes?
973.
Any email address you'd like to give us for court notification purposes?
I don't have it up the top right now.
Not a problem. I'm Judge Stampone. This is Central Judicial Processing. This is your first appearance. We have 2 matters to discuss. We're going to take them one at a time. The first charged on W-2417 with the following: 2C-29 2B, resisting arrest in the 3rd degree. 2C-23A, theft by unlawful taking, 3rd degree. 2C-29 3B, hindering by giving false information, a disorderly persons offense. 2C-27A, receiving stolen property, crime in the 3rd degree. And lastly, 2C-29-1A, obstructing the administration of law, a disorderly persons offense. You're charged on a separate complaint of W-2494 with 2 counts of 2C-3510A, possession of CDS in the 3rd degree, 2 counts of 2C-35-5B, manufacture, distribution, or possession with intent to distribute heroin or cocaine in the 3rd degree, 2C-36-2A, possession of drug paraphernalia, a disorderly persons offense, and lastly, 2 counts of 2C-35-7A, distribution of CDS on or near school grounds, a crime in the 3rd degree. You should have been provided a copy of the charges. If you weren't, you will be by the end of the day. You have been found eligible for the public defender's representation. Counsel?
Judge, I have another note that he was found ineligible, but like before I can stand in for purpose of this hearing, I will waive formal reading and enter a plea of not guilty.
All right. Can someone tell me if he's eligible or ineligible, just so he knows for the hearing?
Excuse me, Your Honor. I have a question.
1 second. 1 second. You'll get a chance.
He's
I'm just trying to
ineligible.
clarify.
He's ineligible.
He's ineligible. All right. Sir, I'm told that you're not eligible for the public defender. They're going to help you today. But will you be hiring an attorney?
No, that's my question. I want to know what makes me not eligible for a public defender. I don't have any money to have, I don't have a private attorney at all.
Well, presumably you applied. I'm not part of that process, but whatever your answers were makes you not eligible.
I mean, I don't have a job. I don't really see.
But I don't see the application. At this point, I'm not allowed to see the application.
Okay.
Judge, we can have him re-interviewed.
Thank you.
All right, let's.
That's what I was going to ask for. If we can have him re-interviewed, given what he said.
All right, we'll have you re-interviewed. If you qualify, the public defender will represent you at your hearing. But for today, he is going to sit in and represent you. Okay, sir?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Prosecutor?
Yes, Judge. We did file for detention on this matter on both files. The first at 8:30 a.m. and the second at 8:37 a.m.
All right. Sir, the prosecutor's office filed a motion for your detention. What that means is you are not going to be released today. However, you have the right to a hearing, and that must occur quickly. That hearing has already been set for this Friday, April 26th, before Judge De La Carrera. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, I got 2 questions for you since you're being detained. Do you have any children under the age of 18 that require us to send immediate care because you're being detained?
No.
Are you the guardian or co-guardian of any incapacitated adult that requires us to send immediate care because you're being detained?
No.
All right. That concludes that matter.
Okay.
Do you have any questions on that matter?
Yes. So I mistake hearing you. So you said De La Carrera will be looking at all these charges together Friday?
Correct.
Okay, so it's not in different judges. So these 2 new charges is also going with the violation of probation. So meaning everything's in one court, correct?
I don't know that. All I have in front of me today is telling you that you have the 2 new charges for a pretrial detention hearing before Judge De La Carrera on Friday. I didn't even know about the VOP until you just told me.
I mean, De La Carrera is I was actually picked up for a warrant that was for a violation of probation. So, I mean,
all I'm telling you is I don't know that because I'm not hearing that today. So I don't know.
Okay. So De La Carrera, am I going to speak to like a public defender today or something just before Friday?
If you're going to reapply, if you qualify, yeah.
Okay. I just want to make
sure. If you don't qualify, no.
Okay.
But all we could do is have you reapply.
Okay. Another question. Don't Mr. De La Carrera, Your Honor, don't he have like his own little public defender? I mean, his own little like lawyers and stuff and his own little campaign?
I don't really know what that means, but if you qualify for the public defender, you will have a public defender at the hearing.
Okay, I just want to be ready before Friday. That's all, Your Honor. Thank you.
Well, the most important thing right now is reapply, see if you qualify.
Okay.
Now, you have another matter. You had a matter out of Patterson, S-23-2124. You didn't show up a bunch of times. They issued a warrant for your arrest. That bail is $750. That's $750 bail.
Bail for what?
For missing court numerous times.
That should be Della Carrera. That's
no municipal court.
What charge do you? I'm not aware of that. That's why.
No problem. I'll tell you. You're charged on May 25th, 2023 with the officer observed you conducting multiple hand-to-hand transactions with a small object and receiving paper currency, loitering to commit a drug offense. You're also charged with resisting arrest by placing your hands under your body, refusing to place your hands behind your back, preventing the detectives from placing you under arrest. You're also charged with obstructing the detective by refusing to cooperate with the detectives who are investigating you for narcotics distribution. You fled on foot from the detectives in an attempt to keep the detectives from conducting a search of your person. Those matters were in Patterson Municipal Court. You missed at least 2 or 3 court dates, and then a warrant was issued for your arrest in the amount of $750. On that case, sir, on that case, you'll see a judge on April 26th at 9:15. Your bail is $750, no 10%. So once you're done with Judge Della Carrera, you will see a judge in Patterson, which just so happens to be me. Any questions?
Yes. Your Honor, you're the one that dismissed that. I was here last year and I didn't leave. So what would be the next court date? Because I was in a program once I left here on drug court, and you actually dismissed it on the last court date, and it was in municipal.
April 26th, 9:15.
I was here.
You asked when you go to court. April 26th, 9:15.
No, I'm saying last year to get these type of warrants for the Patterson. You dismissed that case last year, Your Honor.
Sir,
because I was incarcerated and I was in drug court. I was never advised of any court date.
Hold on. I see 200 people a week. If you think I remember you from last year, I do not remember you. This case is still open.
That's rude, Judge.
You're going to see me on April 26th at 9:15. I'll have the case in front of me and we'll address it. I don't have it in front of me right now, sir.
Yeah, but I don't feel like it's understandable because I was incarcerated when I seen you, and I've been on drug court, and from here I went to a program. So when was I notified that I had to come back to court? How was I supposed to go to court if I was in an inpatient program because of Della Carrera? How would I be able to make it to the? So you're giving me a warrant for something that I never received, or I thought it was canceled because you told me to get out the room.
I didn't give you a warrant. I don't have it in front of me. I don't know which judge of the 6 gave you a warrant, but what I'm telling you is you missed court and a warrant was issued for your arrest, and that case will be heard on Friday at 9:15. I don't have your file in front of me right now, sir.
All right. Well, you guys need to be, all right, I guess. Thank you, Your Honor.
Have a good day.
They don't need to be anything. You're the one in jail. They're fine. They're going to go home soon. They're already home. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. Jersey never, ever fails. Never. Okay, we went to Wisconsin. We went to Texas. We went to Jersey. Now it's time to go to Colorado. To this judge. I just love this judge. We got that thing in the middle of the courtroom again.
Is this the interpreter case or for the victims?
Yes.
Your Honor,
Right.
good morning. I am ready for the phone number whenever the court is ready.
He pauses a lot, guys. There's going to be dead air.
Are we giving?
Just breathe through it.
I don't know what we're doing.
So my understanding was that the interpreter would provide us with a bridge line phone number for the victim to call on his own phone. Is that?
That is absolutely possible. Is it okay if I post it on the chat really quick?
Yeah, that's fine. You don't have to post it to everybody. You can just, if you use a drop down, you can select just the Andrew Strebe as the host, and then he'll get it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And I think when the victim addresses the court, we can switch to consecutive interpretation.
Yes, counsel, that would be fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let me know when we're squared away.
Oh my goodness, I edited it out. Okay, guys, listen. What happened a few minutes ago was this guy came into the court virtually. All right. You can see him down in the bottom square. Arapahoe, Colorado, South, maybe SO. And he was supposed to have a hearing today. However, he told them he refused to come to court. So they let him come on Zoom, but he refused to come to court. So the judge said, "You don't want to come to court? No problem. Your hearing's canceled. We're going to wait for the public defender to get in here, find out what we're going to do to you." And the guy was like, "But no one told me I had to be there." Judge says, "You asked for this hearing. We gave you a hearing, and you refused to come to court. And we can't do it over Zoom. So it's canceled. We're going to trial. That's it." So this judge, he didn't even let the guy speak. This judge is annoyed at this guy. So this guy is trying to talk to the public defender, Sueska. And they're like in private rooms and everything. And while they're dealing with that, the judge is dealing with this other guy here. All right, Judge, let's go.
All right, so I've got paperwork here indicating that Mr. Silla wishes to plead guilty to count 1, a class 5 felony of menacing, subject to a 2-year deferred judgment and sentencing. Mr. Silla is further stipulating to liability for all losses and damages caused by his conduct as to all counts, whether dismissed or prosecuted. Is that your understanding of what you're doing, sir?
Yes, sir.
Counsel, do you await further advisal under Rule 5?
Yes, Your Honor.
Am I saying your name correctly, Silla?
Sila.
Sila, Mr. Sila. How old are you, sir?
19,
And how far did you get in school?
12 years.
So I presume then that you read, speak, and understand English?
Yes.
Are you a veteran of the United States military? Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, medications, anything that would be affecting your judgment today?
No.
Mr. Sila, I never ask any defendant to disclose their immigration status, but if you are anything other than a U.S. citizen, your attorney has to tell you the immigration consequences that this specific plea would have on your specific immigration status. So if you are anything other than a U.S. citizen, do you need more time to talk to your attorney about immigration consequences?
Yes, sir.
You need more time to talk to your attorney?
No, sir.
All right, the count to which you are pleading guilty, count 1 reads that on or about October 8th, 2023, you by any threat or physical action unlawfully and knowingly placed or attempted to place Jesus Hinojosa Atencio in fear of imminent serious bodily injury by use of a simulated firearm. To that count, do you plead guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
All right, now before I accept that plea, let's make sure you understand a couple of things, the rights that you're giving up as well as the potential penalties. Now, I understand there's a motion for a deferred judgment in this case. Given your lack of criminal history, notwithstanding the fact that we're dealing with a firearm, I'm going to go along with that. But you need to understand that if you violate the terms of your probation, that you come back for sentencing, and a class 5 felony carries a potential sentence to the Department of Corrections of between 1 and 3 years with a 2-year period of mandatory parole. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And does he have the paperwork there in front of him?
He does, Your Honor.
All right. So the other thing I want to call your attention to, so I'm looking at this defendant's request to plead guilty. Are those your initials next to each numbered paragraph?
Yes, sir.
Did you put those there?
Yes, sir.
Does that mean you went through this line by line with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
If you had any questions, did she answer them?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions from me about anything that's in that document?
No, sir.
All right, the main thing I want to call your attention to is on page 2, there's a paragraph 5 with lettered paragraphs A through K. These are the rights that you have. Your right to be presumed innocent, to have a trial, appeal, etc. As outlined in that document, do you understand that you have each and every one of these rights?
Yes, sir.
All right, do you understand that by pleading guilty, you would be giving up these rights? There would be no trial. There is no presumption of innocence. We just go to sentencing.
Yes, sir.
All right, finally, sir, I do not accept pleas of guilty from people who tell me they're innocent. That's what trials are for. So now I'm going to ask Mr. Curtis to tell me what facts he would prove at trial that support this charge. And when he's done, I'm going to ask you if that's what happened. Mr. Curtis.
Thank you, Your Honor. The facts underlying this charge are that on October 8th, 2023, the defendant brandished a simulated firearm, placing the victim in fear for his life.
Is that what happened, sir?
Yes, sir.
I apologize to the interpreter. I'm not seeing you or hearing you. I was speaking real quickly, so I apologize.
No worries, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, sir, understanding the rights you're giving up, understanding the potential penalties, do you still want to do this today?
Yes, sir.
All right, then I will accept your plea, finding it is knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily entered into. Are we going to immediate sentencing?
Yes, please.
Go ahead, Mr. Curtis.
Your Honor, the victim would like to address the court. I'll just make a brief comment, noting that the circumstances under which this all came about were understandably alarming, to put it mildly, to the victim, terrifying even. I will note for the court that a thorough review of the evidence does support the defendant's claim that this was all essentially a horrible misunderstanding, and he was very much in the wrong place at the wrong time. And what he's being held accountable here for today is how he handled it in the moment when it became clear that he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. He did, in fact, have a simulated firearm, which he voluntarily handed over to the police when contacted. He cooperated with the police and gave a full statement of what had happened and provided electronic evidence to support it, etc. All of that is to say how we ended up with this resolution taken together with Mr. Sila's age and lack of history, but not to discount at all from the impact this had on the victim and his family, who were asleep in the apartment at the time. So that's sort of the groundwork of how we ended up here. And if I can let Mr. Hinojosa Atencio address the court now, he would appreciate that.
Yeah, you might want to hold on to that for him.
Okay. Oh, my name is Jesus Hinojosa Atencio. I'm gonna speak a little English. Sorry for my English.
You can speak Spanish if you'd like.
Okay. ¿Cómo está? Mi nombre es Jesús Hinojosa. Vengo a decirle que de verdad que las
Sorry to jump in. So if we could have consecutive translation at this point so that the defendant can understand.
Yeah, we will switch to consecutive interpretation. And señor habla despacio para el intérprete, por favor.
¿Puede comenzar de nuevo, por favor, señor Recio, que casi no le escucho?
Ok, disculpe. Vengo a decirle que de verdad, no sé si fue un malentendido o no, pero yo creo que al primer momento que la persona entró a mi casa, él tuvo que haber visto que habían personas durmiendo en la sala.
Permítame.
Por favor, pausa.
Yes, I don't know if it was a misunderstanding or not, but I think that that person, once he came into my apartment, he should have known or seen that there were people sleeping in there. Prosiga.
Continúa.
Ok. Y después que yo entro a mi casa, que mi puerta estaba abierta, que no sé cómo esta persona abrió la puerta.
After he came into the house, I don't know how or why the door was open, but it was open. Prosiga.
Y él me llevó desde la puerta hasta el baño.
No lo entendí. Disculpe, repite, por favor.
He took me to the front door, to the bathroom with the gun. And like, he just tell me like, I'm Andre. And I don't know, with this guy, he's just talking. But this guy just with the gun in my stomach. I just tell me, yeah, are you Andre? And I don't know how this guy is just looking for. But like, he just tell me, yeah, are you Andre? And like, I say, dude, I'm not Andre. Please just relax, because he's just like scared with the gun, just like shaking. And I say, dude, I'm not Andre. So what are you doing in my home? And he tell me, I'm looking for this guy. And he showed me the picture. And I say, I never see this guy before. So he just said me, well, I got the address, and somebody, he tell me this guy, he live in here. So I don't know, this is confused or not, but this guy, I think so this little boy is not a really good guy. And yeah, he just returned the gun, but the gun is returned in the next 3 days. So maybe he can buy one gun in the Walmart. It's very easy to buy one fake one and just return to the police. So I'm not sure is it a real gun or not, but I'm just like, make sure like this guy, I'm take out with my home, because I'm just say, I got my son inside, 7 people inside my home. It's like 4 girls and 3 kids inside my home in that moment. And he stayed inside my home for over 10 minutes because the people in the living room, he see it. So the people in the living room is just like close the eyes and just silent with just these guys just walking inside my apartment. I don't know how this guy he's looking for, but just like when you enter in one apartment and you're in the wrong apartment, just you get out. And how you get in when the door is locked. So the second time when I see this guy is when I call the police, the few minutes when I take out this guy from my apartment, because I'm gonna say, you know what, and I wanna call the police and I want problems, but I just wanna like try chill out this guy, because he's really like, I don't know, he uses drugs or whatever he uses, but he looking really bad at that moment. So when I take out this guy from my apartment, I just call the police. The police, he call me downstairs. I'm gonna try to open the doors, but the police, he tell me the door is not opening. So I'm gonna just walk down there. And when I try to open the door, I'm meeting one more time with this guy outside with my building. And he stay in the car with the driver, and he stay on the passenger side, and he just opened the door and just follow me with all my building. So when I see this guy with the gun one more time, like this guy, I'm gonna close the door really fast. I'm gonna run to inside my building. And like, I don't know how he opened the door when you need one digi key, like one tap. And I don't know how this guy has opened the door. The same with my building, my apartment door. So like he just get in and I'm gonna run to the north side with my building and I'm safe because the cops is the north side. Because it's not, maybe this guy kill me. So like I'm not sleep for almost 4 months more. You know, I'm like just wake up on the night. We just see like this guy with a gun in my face with my son's side every night. I'm so scared. Like I can't go to work because I'm working Lyft driver and I need to come back to my home. I'm really late. And I don't know, like this guy is staying at home or just the driver guy is staying at home. And I want to come here because I'm not sure what is happening. It's a lot of people in here. I'm not sure when I get out from here. So like, I feel it like this guy is not a really good boy. He's not have a like, ¿cómo se dice? Disculpe, ¿cómo se dice? No tiene algo, el pasado. Tiene un pasado criminal. Ajá.
¿Está usted queriendo decir que no tiene antecedentes o sí tiene antecedentes?
No tiene, esta persona no tiene antecedentes criminales,
This person has no criminal background,
pero está comenzando a hacerlo.
but he's beginning to.
Tiene 19 años
He's 19 years old,
y yo siento que él no va a parar.
and I don't think he's going to quit.
Gracias, señor.
I think we can go back to the bridge line.
All right, so
Mr. Interpreter.
he's got the phone again.
Yes, I think we're ready.
All right, so we'll switch back to the bridge line. Go ahead, Mr. Curtis.
Thank you, Your Honor. I guess I should also add, we did, of course, speak extensively with Mr. Hinojosa about this resolution. He's been very gracious about it, and also very clear about all the things that he just stated for Your Honor. It was his preference that the defendant receive some period of incarceration. I informed him that that wasn't part of this agreement, but assured him that in the event Mr. Sila is non-compliant.
Well, it is up to the court. Jail as a condition of probation is always up to the court.
I guess my understanding is that with a straight deferred judgment, I don't know, I could be wrong. I did not believe that there was a mechanism to attach jail to that. In any case, that has been the discussion of the parties in terms of the people's position. So, I guess the only other thing I wanted to say is that we assured Mr. Hinojosa that in the event of any revocation, Mr. Sila would of course be facing some very severe potential penalties, at which point he could again address the court and speak on what he feels is appropriate. Taking everything together, though the circumstances are hard in the face of the effect this had on Mr. Hinojosa, I do believe this is the appropriate outcome to give Mr. Sila an opportunity to show that this is not the beginning of a criminal history or career or something, but was a one-off and something he can put behind him. As to restitution, Mr. Hinojosa is going to look into victims' compensation, but we have no restitution request.
Counsel?
Your Honor, I would like to start my record with sharing some information with the court, but due to the sensitive nature of the information I've discussed with Mr. Curtis, I would like to briefly make the record at the bench if the court's amenable to that.
Does the victim know what's being said?
I could inform him afterwards, potentially. I think there are some specific details not pertinent to, I guess, the legal aspects of the case that I think it's appropriate to share at the bench.
And Your Honor, I'm amenable to Mr. Curtis sharing that with the named victim after I make my record.
All right, approach.
Your Honor, Mr. Sila is 19 years old. His goal initially before the onset of this case was to enlist in the United States military, which ultimately is now going to be postponed till the resolution of probation. He is currently planning to attend Metro State University and study electrical engineering. He will start that, I believe, here in a few weeks is when he's slated to start soccer. He's on a scholarship to Metro State, and he'll start playing soccer for Metro State. He's also going to study electrical engineering, which is slated to start in the coming fall semester. And in those studies, eventually, if he successfully completes probation, his aim is to join the armed forces and be able to serve the country. Mr. Sila's parents do attend court with him every day. I've had extensive conversations with them.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Yeah, she needs to slow down for the interpreter.
Thank you so much.
I apologize. Ultimately, Your Honor, I want you to be aware that Mr. Sila does take both these allegations and the effect it had on the victim very seriously. There is no underlying attempts to justify why he had the firearm. I will note for the court that eventually, when he was contacted by police, he did voluntarily relinquish the simulated firearm and has no additional firearms in his possession. His family's expressed that they don't have firearms in their possession. And ultimately, I think at this point in the posture of the case, that would be an additional felony charge if he had a firearm in his possession. Your Honor, we're asking that the court take into account what are otherwise very terrifying facts for the victim, but also Mr. Sila's criminal history and his goals to be a contributing member of society when this probation is over. He will be on probation for 2 years. He will subsequently, if allowed, still be attending school during that time, ultimately with the goal of enlisting once he hopefully finishes probation. In light of that, Your Honor, we are asking the court to accept the proposed disposition.
All right, Mr. Sila, you have the right to tell me anything you'd like me to know before I sentence.
I would like to apologize to the victim. I had no intent to harm him or anything like that. I was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. During this 7 months, I had time to reflect on what I did. I've been working on bettering myself. Like when she said, I got accepted to college for electrical engineering, and after that, I plan to enlist into the Army, and hopefully, this 2 years of probation, I'll prove to you and the DA that I'm a good person. That's it.
Well, he's got the right words down. He memorized them like everybody else.
Mr. Sila, cases like this are always incredibly difficult for me as a judge. I took a substantial pay cut to take this job because I believe in giving back to my community. I believe in representing justice for the community. And cases like yours are hard. On the one hand, you're a very young man with no criminal history. Apparently a good future in front of you. On the other hand, this isn't just wrong place, wrong time. This is pull gun on other human being. That's what this case is. And the question that is completely unanswered is, had you been in the right place, what were you doing with that gun? Am I here looking at attempted murder? That's what's not known. And that's what scares me. And that's what scares him. Quisiera que eso muy serio, señor. I realize that I am no one to you. Your parents are here. They love you. But respectfully, sir, let me tell you something that I would tell my kids. Usually, before life completely does one over on you, you get warnings. This is that warning. And you are either going to realize that and make changes, or the next time you're in the wrong place, wrong time, wrong place with a gun, or right place, wrong time with a gun, you're going to end up getting shot and killed. Or you're shooting and killing someone else. Then you come back in front of me or another judge looking at life in prison. Guns are nothing. I realize you don't anymore, but the rest of us have a constitutional right to bear arms. But with that right, comes responsibility. And what you did on that night was incredibly irresponsible. The fear that man now lives with, that his children now live with, you know what you've created? You've created another family of gun owners that the next time someone walks into their house, wrong place, wrong time, they get shot. That's the result of this. Do not ever, ever say the system did not give you a break. Do not ever say you were not given a chance. Mr. Curtis, in an exercise of his discretion, is giving you this chance to avoid a felony conviction for the rest of your life. And had he not, if this were a menacing charge and you pull a gun on a person, I would be sending you to prison. Period. Gun crime in this society is run amok, and you would be going to prison, not because of any other reason than the fact that you pulled a gun on another human being. And that earns prison time. Period. You mess up this probation. You pick up a new crime. You will be coming back in front of me for sentencing. And you already know what that's going to be. I don't say that to be mean, and I don't say that to threaten, because I don't make threats. I tell you what is going to happen. You pick up a new crime, you bust your probation. The one argument I absolutely reject is, well, he's being punished enough because now he has a permanent felony conviction. I reject that. That's not enough of a punishment. You pulled a gun on a human being. You will go to prison. And I just want us to be very clear as to expectations and understandings. Now, with all that being said, I very much hope that this is young and stupid. I very much hope you are going to make it through this 2 years of probation, that you're going to be a rock star, and that you're going to do very well in electrical engineering at Metro. Getting into the Army would also be good. Once you've, well, I was Air Force, I'd say Air Force is better, but, you know, you can make that decision and choose Army. GI Bill, they'd pay for the rest of your education. You could become an officer. You could have an excellent future. But this is that fulcrum point in your life. I hope you take advantage of it. I will grant the motion for the deferred judgment and against every impulse I have. I'm not going to put you back in jail. But that's you getting another break from the system. Because the reality is you have earned prison or a jail sentence. Let there be no doubt, your parents, wherever they are, your parents, if someone broke into their house and put a gun to their stomach and marched them around the house, they would be in here asking for jail. You know it. He knows it. Everyone knows it. But this is your break. Please don't ask for another. You need to report to probation. That's at 303 West Colfax. I'll reserve restitution for 49 days. Well, we'll determine it within 91 days if people have made good faith efforts to determine whether or not there will be restitution. Their victim will be going through victim's compensation. So within 49 days, Mr. Curtis will present this court with a motion for restitution. He will check with your attorney. If you object to it, we'll set a hearing. If you don't object to it, I'll just grant it. If there is an objection, written objection is due within 2 weeks of the filing of the prosecution's motion.
Understood.
¿Algo más, señor? No? Okay. Mr. Silo, you got a lot of things going for you. You're on a football scholarship, soccer. Smart enough to do electrical engineering. You got a lot going for you. Family that cares. Do not waste this opportunity.
Yes, sir.
And frankly, I hope I never see you again professionally. Because if I don't, that means you've done good. And if I do, hope we understand what's going to happen then. Please don't come back. Anything else from the prosecution?
Set an end date for the deferred.
Oh, thanks. Hmm. April 27th, 2026 for review of deferred judgment. I should tell you right now that, because you are on this deferred, you do not have the right to bear arms. You are considered a convicted felon until you successfully complete this deferred judgment, and just merely possessing a firearm is a felony offense. And if you're using it in the commission of certain crimes, it is mandatory prison. I have no discretion. It is mandatory. Whatever reasons you think you need a weapon for, I suggest you find some other way. Because there are incredibly limited circumstances under which you may possess a firearm, and you need to have a long talk with your attorney about what those are if you think you need to have a weapon. My recommendation, have nothing to do with them until you successfully complete this. All right, good luck.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And Judge, we're ready on the Ham matter. The Arapaho writ does need to log off.
Judge, is that all for the Spanish interpreter?
And are we done with interpretation cases? All right, I think we are done. Thank you, sir.
My pleasure, Judge. Thank you. Su español muy bueno, señor juez.
Gracias.
De nada.
I don't know how to say he's lying, but all right, so let's recall the Ham matter.
This judge is annoyed at Ham. Annoyed. And then he just went through that mess.
23 CR 1162, number 12 on the court's docket, People versus Ham. Mr. Kazaruni is present in the courtroom. Mr. Swetska is representing Mr. Ham. Both Mr. Swetska and Mr. Ham are appearing virtually. We're set for a pretrial conference today, but also previously, Mr. Ham had requested that he be appointed different counsel. We were supposed to do that for him today, but he refused to be transported to Denver so we could do that. I have checked with any other judges and no one's available to handle a virtual hearing, even if one is warranted. Where are
Judge,
we?
I can short circuit this a little bit. So I've spoken with Mr. Ham in more detail. He is no longer requesting a Bergerud hearing, and after further discussions with Mr. Ham and the prosecution, we have reached a tentative disposition in this matter. So Mr. Ham would like to request a conversion of the trial setting to a disposition with a waiver of speedy trial, and to keep in place a writ for his appearance for a plea and immediate sentencing. Just for the court's edification, it would be a plea to, I believe it's count 1, the class 5 felony possession of a weapon by a previous offender, with a stipulated 1-year sentence in the Department of Corrections.
Well, we're going to leave the trial set because I'm not convinced that I will accept the sentencing stipulation. We'll leave the trial set. If Mr. Ham wishes to plead, I'll give the parties the opportunity to convince me that that 1 year is the appropriate sentence. If I disagree, then we can go to trial. If I agree, we'll go to sentencing. All right, we'll see everybody on May 7th.
Thank you.
Nothing went his way today. It started off bad and it got worse. I don't know if he would have done that if he didn't have to deal with that 19-year-old first, but probably. Yeah, this judge, so the judge's hands are tied a lot more than you guys think. Yes. They can overrule plea and things like that, but it's like that's they just can't do it all the time. They just can't throw everybody in jail. The prosecutor and the defender, they come up with a plea and judges take it. Their hands are tied. But they know, so like that 19-year-old, he's going to see him again. We all know he's going to see him again. We all know when he sees him again, it's not going to be good. I mean, we hope he doesn't. But he has, it's not like he let him out and that's it, the end of the story. No, if he messes up, he's going to prison. He is. Plus whatever he did to see the judge again. So this other guy's looking at a year. Mr. Ham, I think, is looking at well, no, I don't know what he's looking at. Now that I think about it, I know at least 1 year, and he wants probation for it. So, the judge has that in his back pocket. He gives him probation. If he messes up, he's got that year that he can give him. And it's mandated in a lot of cases. So even the judge can't say, oh, no, well, we'll give you another chance on probation. It's mandated in that 19-year-old's case. If he gets caught with a gun, he's going to jail. Prison, not jail. So his hands are tied, but his hands aren't really tied because he has that in his back pocket if they mess up. And if they don't mess up, it's great. It's great. They're living a good, productive life. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming out. That's all I have for today. It's not a 4-hour stream. He won't have a record. He did. He terrorized that whole family, the kids too. Only the guy came into court, but he said there were 7 people in that apartment. Women, children. He terrorized them all. Alrighty, I'm going to get ready for court. It's Thursday, so court's on. I will see you all soon. Thanks all the new people in chat. Appreciate it. Our chat is so good. The Vibers are awesome.